Y'all see all of this? This is what 8 pounds of strawberries, minus the ones we ate, and we ate quite a few. Hello everyone, and welcome to Kim's Cozy Corner. Can you tell what I have out, y'all? When you got strawberries that look this good and a bag of lemon, that's when you need to make some strawberry lemonade concentrate. Hi everybody, welcome to Kim's Cozy Corner. I am indoors today and I'm actually eating when I'm supposed to be preserving, but I have a ton of, what is this, 8 pounds? Well, it was 8 pounds before I started eating them, but I have 8 pounds of strawberries that we've already washed and cored. And I have a whole bunch of lemons as well. I don't know how much it's going to add up to, but I got a bag of lemons here. And we are going to juice these lemons to see how much lemon juice we have. And we're going to determine how much strawberry lemonade concentrate we can make. Fruit is one thing I don't grow enough of. So when I see a good sale on fruit, I'm going to buy it up and I'm going to find a way to preserve it so we can enjoy it in the off seasons as well as in the regular season. Strawberry lemonade is one of my favorites. I mean, anybody can have lemonade, but strawberry lemonade just adds that extra touch. And so that's what we're making today. 8 pounds of strawberries. Not quite sure how many lemons I have yet. We're using this book right here. There is a strawberry lemonade concentrate on page 190, and that's the recipe we'll be following. It says that this recipe makes about 7 pints, and it calls for 6 cups of strawberries. Y'all, how many more cups of that than I have? I have, a pound is 2 cups. So there's 4, 8. I got 16 instead of 6 of strawberries. So we'll just have to see how much we get in this. But the first thing I gotta do, y'all, I gotta find out how much lemon juice I have. So the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna juice these lemons, or should I say squeeze the juice out of these lemons. That's our first step. Let me get a seat while I'm sitting over here so we can talk while I'm getting these lemons taken care of. Now the recipe called for, what did I say, 6 cups of strawberries, and it called for 4 cups of lemon juice. So that would be our ratio as we're trying to figure out just how much we can get. So they said 4 cups. This is 8 cups. So this is twice as much. I know I have at least twice as much of the strawberries, but let's see how far the lemons take us. Yeah, I've always squeezed lemons the hard way. I didn't have the right tools to do it. So I finally got me this tool right here that's going to help me get all the juice out of these lemons. Now, y'all, I could take the skins. I could make some lemon extract. I'm not, because I don't need any. I made a whole bunch of lemon extract last year where you just take the top edges of the lemon here and you put it in some type of alcohol, and before you know it, voila, you got lemon extract, y'all. I will put a link to that video here just so you know how you can use that instead of throwing away the ends. That just don't want to sit right, that end on it. But I will put a link to that recipe below if that's something you're interested in. And I don't know which way I'm supposed to put this in here, so I'm going to put it in both ways. Let's just see how many lemons I'm going to get. How much juice I'm going to get, y'all. Whoo, I can't get my words together today. I'm going to squeeze it one way, I'm going to flip it over, and then I'm going to squeeze it the other way. I didn't get no more juice out of it, though. But let's get the lemon squeezed, and we'll find out how much we're working with. I found some seedless lemons that I was going to use before to do this task. And my mom said they don't even taste like lemons. She said that they were sweet. They had no sour to them at all. So I never did it, but I still have quite a few of the lemon right here that we're going to use up before we get into the other bag of lemon, because we can't let them go bad. They got juice in them, even if it's not tart. Now, we did use some of the lemons for some other things, so it's not like we're going to waste the lemon. But let's get the lemon all taken care of. It would have been nice if I could have done this when it was still hot. Well, it's hot outside now. Let me be clear. It is still hot. It's not as hot as it was this summer, like in July and August. But at the end of September, y'all, it's still hot. Y'all think I'm going to get 8 cups of lemon? What you think? We're going to try our best. I will bring you back after I've done this step, and we'll see how much we got and how much we're working with. So I'm taking a break from squeezing those lemons. My hands are getting tired. I'm already up to 4 cups of lemon juice. I've been through about half, well, the bag with the seedless lemons, I finished that off, and I'm halfway through the other bag of lemons. I got 4 cups of lemon juice. So we're going to rest my hands, and we're going to go ahead and take care of some of these strawberries. So for every 4 cups of lemon juice, I need 6 cups of whole strawberries. And that's what I have here. Well, I don't have 6 cups yet, but we're getting ready to put 6 cups into this blender here. All right, close enough. Close enough. This looks more like 7, almost 8 cups, but I know they're not sitting in there very well. My blender is a Vitamix Professional or something like that. Links to everything is going to be right up here, or I should say down in the description. And so the recipe says that I am supposed to, in a blender or food processor, I am supposed to puree until smooth. Now I got this on. Now it's on. And this blender, oh, I'm so sticky. I'm sticky from the lemon juice. But this blender actually has a puree setting, and we're going to put it on that. It's already on it. And I can hit start, and it's going to automatically speed up and blend until everything is fully pureed, and then it'll stop on its own. So that's what we're going to do. Or not, because what I did forget, y'all, there's no liquid in here. So since I don't have any liquid in here, y'all, it's been so long since I used my blender. Since there's no liquid in here, it's going to take it a minute to blend. So I probably shouldn't have put all 6 cups in there. It says work in batches. So yeah, y'all, I shouldn't have put all of those in there. I was trying to take a shortcut. So we're going to take some off the top. We know that we got 6 cups right here. Well, roughly 6 cups. We'll take the ones off the top, and we are going to pulse it for just a little bit until we get it mixed up pretty good. And then we will put it on the automatic setting. See how that pulsing gives it that quick mix? And now I can put it on the puree setting, and it'll puree it for me. When that finishes pureeing, we're going to pour it in a pot. And now it's finished pureeing this part of the process. I'm going to pour this out, and we're going to puree the rest of these strawberries. All right, so I had the 6 cups of whole strawberries. They're all pureed and they're in my pot right here. But y'all, I'm gonna need to puree some more, but I won't know until I finish cutting up, or should I say juicing those lemons. So let me get back to that and then I will bring you back when we find out how much lemon juice we have. So y'all, I ended up with just under 6 cups of lemon juice from the lemons that I have. I have a whole nother bag, y'all, but my hand's tired. I ain't doing no more lemons. So we're gonna add a few more strawberries in here and we're gonna get this lemonade made. For the rest of the strawberries, we will turn them into probably strawberry jam. And I'll put that on this video as well. So it'll be lemonade and strawberry jam. All right, we are done mixing up the strawberries. Y'all, I think I can put a few more strawberries in there. All right, so I gotta get this luscious goodness out. So we gotta get a spatula because we don't want to waste none of this luscious goodness. So there is the strawberry puree. Let's move to the stove. So the next step calls for, wow, that's high. That's a little better. The next step calls for me to mix in the sugar and the lemon juice. Now my lemons had seeds in it. So I'm going to use this little strainer here to make sure that I don't get any lemons down in my concentrate that I'm making. And y'all, boy, did I have some lemons in there. Since I'm making a batch and a half, because I had 6 cups versus 8 cups of lemon juice, I'm going to use a batch and a half of sugar. So that is going to be 8 cups of sugar. Now, everything is to taste, y'all. If you want to cut back on the sugar, cut back on the sugar. You don't have to make it that strong. But the one thing you need to remember is that this is a concentrate, which means when it's time to actually enjoy this, you're going to mix it with equal parts water or tonic or like a ginger ale or a Sprite or something like that to get to your lemonade. So yes, this is going to be super sweet. So I'm going to put in 8 cups of sugar. That seems like a lot of sugar. But I made this last year, y'all. It was so good. So good. All right, so now that did nothing. Boy, I got to change my light bulbs. Now we're going to heat this up. We do not want it to boil. We just want to heat it up so that we are dissolving the sugar. Boy, that's a lot of sugar, y'all. Smells good, though. Again, we just want to get it up to 190 degrees. In other words, we're just dissolving the sugar. That's it. That's all we're trying to do. And we are going to water bath can this concentrate, which means I need to get my canner out and get it going because we'll be ready to start that up in just a minute. But one of the issues, y'all, is I just don't have any jars. That's why I was going to put them in quart jars, but I think I'm going to run to the store, pick some jars up because I'm going to need some jars anyway if I'm doing strawberry jam. So I have to get some jars. I have plenty of quart jars. I just don't have pint and half pint jars or quarter pints or any of those kind of things. So while this is getting up to temperature, I'm going to clean my mess up. Y'all, I done sprayed lemon juice everywhere. And Mom just mopped the floor, y'all. She going to be like, what is that sticky on the floor? Lemon juice. Oh, man. I had lemon juice on my glasses. Let's wipe it down one more time. One of the things that I talked about was that we're going to water bath can. The reason why we're water bath canning, for those newbies out there, is that this is a high acidic food. If it's got lemon juice in it, if it's got vinegar in it, most of your fruits, especially your citrus fruits, are high from an acidity standpoint. So there's no reason to have to take that pressure up, way up above boiling, so you can water bath can. The recipe calls for 15 minutes in pint-sized jars, and that is what we're going to put it in since I'm going to go buy some. Oh my goodness. Lemon juice all over my phone. Hello everyone. It's actually another day. I went and picked up some jars for this amazing strawberry lemonade. And yeah, it got to be too late, y'all. So I just put this up in the refrigerator and I pulled it back out, and I'm going through that process again of heating it back up. So we only need to heat it up to 190 degrees. We don't need it to boil. And so that's what I'm working on. No reason to boil. And just think about it this way. The closer you get to boiling, the more bubbles and foam you're going to have in your product. So if you don't want foamy stuff, don't get it too hot. But we're only going up to 190 degrees just before boiling. And then we're going to put it in the jars. So while this is warming up, I've already set up my canner. I have 8 pint-sized jars in here. I washed them, I cleaned them up, I put them in here, and I've already heated them, and they're ready to be filled. But my lemonade's not. So as soon as the lemonade concentrate is full or is fully warm, all we got to do is pour it into the jars. So I didn't use all my strawberries, y'all. I don't know if you remember, but I got tired of working with the lemons. So I have all of these strawberries left. So I decided I will go ahead and make strawberry jam because I don't remember ever recording a strawberry jam video for others to follow. So we have our freshly washed and cored strawberries, and we are going to use the recipe from this book right here on page 10. We're going to make strawberry jam, but we are going to make it with the fruit pectin. I usually try to make my strawberry preserves and that kind of stuff without pectin, but since we're going to make jam and I don't have a lot of time, we're going to use pectin. And pectin speeds up that process where you don't have to wait a long time to boil it down and all that kind of stuff. So that's what we're making today. The only thing is that I don't know my the amounts just yet. This recipe will make 8-ounce jars is what this recipe will make, but it only calls for 8 cups of strawberries. Well, that's almost 8 cups right there. Almost. And I haven't smashed it down to get it to just how much I'm going to have left. But with whole strawberries, I'm only supposed to have 8 cups. And I probably have more like 12 cups. So we're going to find out just how much I have from a strawberry standpoint to determine the ratios for everything else. And we only need, I'll say, 3 additional ingredients. We need our sugar. And you can adjust sugar because if you don't want it super sweet, don't make it super sweet. We're going to put some lemon juice because I am not squeezing another lemon. So we're going to need lemon juice and we're going to need the pectin. So let's get these strawberries crushed. Y'all see, I bought a ton of jars, all kinds of jars, because these are the sizes I don't have many of. So the recipe says, get a potato masher and mash up the strawberries. Y'all, that sounds like work. We're not doing that, y'all. We're not doing that. I'm going to put the strawberries in here, and I am going to like crush them up, just a couple quick pulses to break them up. The smoother you make it, the more like jelly it's going to be. And I do want some clumps of strawberries in my jam. So we are going to, I got to find something to put it in, y'all. All right. We will put it in this once we break them down just a little bit. Now, y'all, I'm having to keep my eye over here on this pot because I don't want it to scorch or burn in any way. I'm just trying to get the temperature up on it. And we're getting close. Very, very close. All right. Let's mix this up just a little bit. We're going to just pulse it to break it down just a little. I probably didn't. Oh, there we go. I thought I done put too many strawberries in there again, y'all. That's it. I'm going to keep it super chunky, very, very chunky as I move it into this bowl here. Okay. And now we're going to add the rest of the strawberries. Strawberry jam is going to be just like the lemonade. I can water bath can it. But let's see how long I need to can it for. 10 minutes. So I only need to process these for 10 minutes. So I would do them separate from the lemonade. But let's go ahead and let's finish breaking them down. See, that's just like I took a potato masher, right? We mashed it all up. I like to work smarter, not harder. And just to be honest, y'all, I didn't need any more strawberry jam. I got a ton of raspberry jam up there. I got apple jam. I got peach jam or jelly. I think it's jelly. And apple butter. But I don't have any strawberry jam. So I guess you can say, hey, I'm adding to the supply. I definitely want to use some of the other ones first, but it'll last. Coming back over, checking on my pot here. And my goal is to fill the jars with the lemonade first, and then I'll finish making the strawberry jam by reusing that container. I don't want to make dishes if I don't have to. So now that I got my strawberries all broken down, let's see how many I really have. Okay, I needed to have 5 cups of crushed strawberries. At the end of the day, that's what I needed, 5 cups of crushed strawberries. So let's say you don't have fresh strawberries. You can buy frozen strawberries, thaw them out, and make strawberry jam from it. It doesn't have to come from your garden. It can be the farmer's market. It could be, from the frozen, right? And let's say you don't have real strawberry pieces. All you had was, well, strawberries, that's a hard one. Let's say we had grape juice. We can turn grape juice into grape jelly. But we're making strawberry jam today from fresh strawberries. So let's see if I got 5 cups. Y'all look at that. I got exactly 5 cups of crushed strawberries. And that's what it called for. 1.25 liters of crushed strawberries. I got exactly that. So strawberries are good. I know exactly how much I need of the other ingredients, which includes 7 cups of granular sugar or 1.75 liters. And then I'm going to need 4 tablespoons of lemon juice or 60 milliliters and 6 tablespoons of the pectin, and it's the powdered kind, or 90 milliliters. So those are my ingredients that we're going to pull together here in just a minute. I have my lemonade up to temperature. It has a little bit of foam on the top, but not much. So we're not going to worry about the foam part. I have my jars here. I think I put 8 in there. 3, 6, 7, 8. Yes, there are 8 jars in there. We are water bath canning, which means I need the water to be above the jars. So I'm going to reuse the water that I used to heat the jars in. Waste not, want not. Nothing's free. Not air, not water, nothing. Everything costs you. So we're going to pour that water off. We're going to reuse as much of it as we can. And then we'll only have to fill up the difference. You want your jars hot, your water hot, if your ingredients are hot. All right, let's do these 4 first. Let's put it here so you can see what I'm doing. But I'm going to fill up the jars, and I can fill them all the way up, and I only need to leave, I believe, a ½ inch of headspace, but we'll get close. Again, water bath canning. There's a ton of lemon juice in here. There's a ton of sugar, strawberries. This is very high in acid or acidity. Is that how you say it? So for each one of my jars, that right there will make 2 pints of lemonade or more depending on what you're adding to it. If you're only adding water to it, I would only put equal amounts. If you're going to add Sprite or ginger ale or club soda or something like that, I mean, maybe not club soda, there's no sugar in club soda, but in some type of soda like Sprite or ginger ale, 7-Up, something like that, you might be able to stretch it a little farther and get a little more. So let me fill up my jars. I'll make sure I let you know how many I get. I will go ahead and put the lids on, the rings, the lids, all of that kind of stuff. I don't have to worry about air bubbles because it's a liquid, so I won't be getting the air bubbles out. But I do need to wipe the rims because with all this sugar, y'all, it could put a film around the edge of the rim if we're not careful. So we will clean the rims very good, checking for nicks and dings and all of that kind of stuff before we put our lids and our rings on. And you've seen me do that before, I'm sure, 100 times by now. Y'all, I might have a little more than I thought I did. I still got half a pot in here. If I have too much, y'all, I guess I'm getting ready to make some lemonade. That's all that is. So let me get jars filled up and I will bring you back. Okay, I have my jars done and I ended up with 9. I ended up with 9 pints. And so I am going to have to switch canners because this canner will only hold 8 pints. So I am going to switch to my 23-quart canner. And I'm going to take all the hot water in here and put it in that one so I'm not starting from scratch, just to keep things moving. So we got a whole nother project to do, y'all. And we are already 2 days in on this one. Oh my goodness. Ooh, hot, 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 hot. I've already wiped my jars, made sure they're nice and clean. I still have just a little bit of juice in the bottom. And so that juice that's in the bottom, y'all, we're going to turn that juice into the strawberry jam because it's not enough to make a difference for the strawberry jam. So we'll use it. Let me get the other canner set up. We're going to do the same thing though. Water bath canning, 15 minutes over there. And I can put all of these jars on one level because the 23-quart can hold 10 pint-sized jars on one level. So let me get it set up. So we're going to put it over here out the way so we can keep working on the other project. But the first thing I need to do, y'all, is safely get that hot water into this canner. Don't try this at home. I'm a safety professional. I know what I'm doing. Y'all, if I was to burn myself at this point, that would be quite embarrassing. We did that. Now, let's get our jars over here. And I got to fill it all the way up to get the water above the jars. So we still got a lot to do. Oh, I got to set it up. So one of the things I like about this is once you turn it on and you go to what you want, I want to water bath can. I want to do it for 15 minutes. I've already inserted my jars and I'm warming the jars, but I really don't need to warm. So I'm going to get the jars and everything in here and then I'm going to go ahead and kick it into the canning process. My jars are in, but the water is not above the jar. So I'm gonna have to add some hot water to get above the jars. So I just got hot water from the tap because I already have a ton of hot water in here. It should be fine. I need to cover my jars 1 inch Need an inch of water above the jars. Not quite. This should get it. And it does. All right, here's the big boy. Where'd my little arrow go? There it is. There's a little arrow right here that I need to line up over here. That's how. There we go. I lined the arrows up. Now I can lock it all the way down. So I already know everything's warm, so I'm just going to take it to the next step. And now it's heating everything up to a boiling temperature. Once it gets to the boiling temperature, it'll start counting down for 15 minutes and this will be done. So we're going to let this do its thing and we're going to go work on that strawberry jam. Here are strawberries. So there's just a teeny little bit in the bottom, not enough to cause any issues. So we are going to use this pot and we are going to follow the directions as closely as I possibly can. So I'm supposed to be heating my jars now. I will heat them in a minute. Depending on how much I got here, I'm going to put these in, how many it say? It says it's only going to make 8-ounce jars. So that'll definitely fit in that other water bath canner or a digital electric canner. So I'll have both canners going to knock this project out. So I'll get that going after I start this process right here. So we want to, it says measure sugar in a bowl and set it aside. Yeah. We'll do that in a minute. Because the thing about it is when you put the sugar in, you're going to put it all in at one time. So that's why it says to measure it and set it aside so you can quickly just pour it all in. We will do that in just a moment and we're going to need 7 cups. I've already done the mashing and the crushing and all that kind of stuff. And it says I need it to transfer it into a large stainless steel pan, which we've already done with that step right there. But I am going to get a spatula and get all of the goodness out. Got to get the goodness out. Well, as much of it as you can anyway. Waste not, want not. Best strawberry jam ever. It's saying that it's time to add the lemon juice. You can use, Ugh. Come on, baby. All right. Y'all, I'm having issue after issue. We're going to do 4 tablespoons of lemon juice. Yeah, this is going to be good. Now it says I need to whisk in the pectin and then bring it to a rolling boil. Pectin, I need 6 tablespoons or 90 milliliters. Oh, this hadn't even been open yet this year. I might have pulled the wrong one down. And y'all, it says whisk in. I'm not dirtying up another utensil. Let me just be honest. But it says whisk it in. So I'm going to do 3. I'm going to mix it up real good and then I'm going to do 3 more. Pectin speeds up this process for us, and that's what we're working on. Y'all don't mind my dinner back here. We had yellow wax beans. Mom had okra. We had some navy beans. We had broccoli from the garden. So we had a nice little home-cooked meal today. All right, let's put the next 3 in. If I had whisked it in, it would have been a lot better. I know it would have been mixed properly, but since I have a wooden spoon, I'm going to have to really work it to make sure I mix it in good. Pectin does wonders, y'all. Wonders, I tell you, wonders. So now we're heating it up, getting it to that boil. And then, y'all, we got put in a whole bunch of sugar, 7 cups of sugar. I'm going to go ahead and get a couple containers and work on that sugar while this is getting ready to boil. 7 cups. 6, that one makes 7. All right, while I'm getting this ready to boil, I'm going to go get my jars out. I'm hoping you can see this, but I am boiling. The foam's coming up. I got a nice boil going. Very nice boil. with the foam there. And now what I'm supposed to do is add all the sugar at one time and bring it back up to a rolling boil just like this for a minute. And then we take it off the heat, y'all. That's all we got to do. And it's time to fill the jars. So let's pour it all in here at one time, as close to one time as possible. I'll stir it in. So you notice the boil went away. And so it's going to melt that sugar or dissolve that sugar. I got to make sure I mix it in good because I thought I saw a hunk of sugar somewhere. But we got to make sure the sugar is getting mixed in really well. And we want to boil hard for a whole minute. A whole minute. I have some pretty thick chunks of strawberries in there. I was afraid that the sugar wasn't melting. But it is. It's okay. I was getting worried. I don't see any hunks of sugar anywhere. Now I put 7 cups of sugar in here. You can back off the sugar just a little bit if you want. I am probably going to gift a lot of this, if not the raspberry and some of the other ones, this winter for Christmas. So, you know, maybe they want it extra sweet. I usually don't. I usually come in about a cup less than what they call for. I'm always making this jelly and jam up, y'all, and then I hardly ever eat it because I don't eat breakfast and I really like it on toast. Oh, that's a big strawberry. It'll start boiling in a minute here. All right, so can y'all see that? We got a rolling boil. It's like really boiling hard. Actually, I had to turn it down just a little bit. I didn't want to get burnt. Safety professional here. Anyway, we just started boiling. We're going to let it boil for that full minute like they talked about. We're going to take it off the heat. And now I would skim that off. I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to get set up so we can get ready to put it into the jars. It says that my jars are hot. So we will start filling those jars. Pouring the water back into the canner. And y'all, that's what the recipe book called for. It says, make sure you put your water back into the canner. And that's exactly what we did. Now, I only prepared 8 jars because that's what the recipe said it would do. So let's see where we really come out with this. I got a feeling it's going to be more than 8 jars. It says I only need to leave a 1/4 inch of headspace. I can definitely see it trying to set up on the side of the jar. So I don't have to worry about it not setting. Now there's a whole lot in here, a lot more than I thought. Now I don't have to can all of this. I can take this and refrigerate it. So it doesn't have to be canned. It's ready to be served. You know, I just let it set up and then I can put it in the refrigerator and enjoy it. And I might just do that if it all won't fit in the canner. I need to wash and warm a few more jars. This is called the quilted crystal ball jars. They have that design on them. And y'all, when I went in the store to pick up jars because I needed them for this project, do y'all know that these were cheaper than the ones that were plain with no quilting on it? I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Oh, I made a mess. All right. There they are, but I got to clean that up because, y'all, they don't look too hot. I got sugar all over the side of these jars. So I have a damp paper towel cleaning the edges very good. I ended up with 11 jars instead of 8 jars. Putting our lids on. Ooh. All right, I was able to get 10 jars in here, even though I cooked up 11, didn't I? 11? Yep, because here's the other jar right here. So we cooked up 11. We'll put this one in the refrigerator and we will enjoy it this weekend as we're out of town. But for the rest of these, oh, I got to fill it up with water. I got to make sure the water is at least an inch above the jars. I almost messed up, y'all. There we go. Jars have been filled. This only needs to cook for 10 minutes after it gets to a boil. So now I can just clean my mess up until everything gets done. Okay, y'all, it stopped. This is done. The lemonade is all done, is all sealed up. I just need to move it to the home where it's going to sit very patiently until it seals. One of the things that you shouldn't do is turn it to the side, get the water off the top, any of those kind of things. You don't want it messing up that sealing process that is going through now. And now, believe it or not, it's already time to get the strawberry jam out. So when these digital pots say that they're done, and that's after they've gone through a 5-minute cool down period. So it'll say that it's cooling down. It'll cook for cool for 5 minutes before you remove the lid. Once I remove the lid, I wait another 5 or 10 minutes just because usually it's because I'm just not ready to do it, but at least another 5 or 10 minutes. And then I go through the process of getting it out. I want it to try to normalize as much as possible. That's going to be a pretty jar of strawberry jam, y'all. And I could have made strawberry syrup, strawberry filling. There's a lot of different things I could have made with this strawberry. And even though this is strawberry jam, you still can use it as a strawberry filling. You still can top off your yogurt with it. It's still going to be good. It's just going to be a more dense, condensed. It's just, ooh, y'all, I can't talk. It's just going to be a thicker texture. Taste should be the same. The pectin shouldn't change the taste, is what I'm trying to say. It done got late in the day and I can't talk. Y'all hear that? They said, I'm sealing. Y'all see all of this? This is what 8 pounds of strawberries, minus the ones we ate, and we ate quite a few. We probably ate about 2 pounds of strawberries. But I ended up, y'all hear that's the jar sealing. But I ended up with, what did I say, 11 jars of strawberry jam. And I ended up with 9 jars of strawberry lemonade concentrate. Now, y'all, this right here by itself is probably a year's supply. But the strawberry concentrate, nah, I'm going to have to ration that off. But y'all, this was a fun day in the kitchen over a couple of days, playing around with a little bit of lemon and a little bit of strawberry. And we ended up with some delicious drinks and treats for this winter season. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to the channel, turning on notifications, and liking the video. And please don't forget to tell your friends and family all about it. Even if you don't want to can, like this jar right here, I didn't can this jar. Well, I canned it, right? But I didn't seal it. This jar right here, I'm going to put it in the refrigerator, and it's going to be the first jar that we enjoy because it doesn't have the seal. It wasn't water bath canned. It's just in a jar. So that's always an option as well. You can create it and put it in the refrigerator, and it'll last a long time. But if you water bath can it, it'll last an even longer time. So y'all, that's good. I'm done talking for today. So until next time, and I hope there will be a next time that you choose to hang out at Kim's Cozy Corner with me. Bye.